No, I'm still on the Ridge Violet. And then,
It
and
was. It's March
sunglasses
12th.
wise, have you not seen what Knockaround has?
I haven't.
Batman sunglasses
Oh God.
for adults and kids. So guess what's coming in the mail tomorrow?
Oh goodness, Jesus Christmas.
Braden's coming over on Sunday, so guess who the
Bat-
cool guys are gonna be?
Batman. I can't wait for the picture. I really can't. I'll be honest.
It was one of those. Do I really need sunglasses? And then Rosen's like, they have them for kids also. And I was like, I need sunglasses.
You do need sunglasses.
That'll be my only when I'm with Braden sunglasses.
I mean, you know you're gonna wear those sunglasses more than just when you're with him. They're Batman sunglasses.
They are Batman sunglasses. All right, I guess we're starting.
Yeah, he'll be on in a second.
Episode 392 is here. It's been a minute. Vincent's here. Danny will join us in a little bit. First and foremost, before we actually get started, thoughts and prayers this week go out to the Laker organization, the Clipper organization too. I didn't know he actually works for them now.
Didn't know that either.
They were the ones who made the announcement, but the icon, the logo, Jerry West has passed away. 89, I think it was, right? Something
Maybe.
like that.
Sounds about right.
86
86
was the official.
Got it.
He was the icon. Someone tweeted out, even Jerry West had to get out of this earth before the Celtics won another championship due to the long rivalry between those two. But, you know.
Yeah.
He was one of the few who was actually like, somewhat okay with the show on HBO, apparently.
Really?
From that era. Jason Clarke played him.
Okay.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. He was in Oppenheimer, Zero Dark 30.
I don't think I ever saw Zero Dark 30.
Hey, what's up?
What's that?
Hi, Dan.
Ew.
But yeah,
I don't know who Jason Clarke is, to be completely honest.
yes,
Jason Clarke.
He played. He was Jerry West in the HBO show. We were talking about him for a minute.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
All right.
If you see him in the movies, you'll know him. He was in the second and third Planet of the Apes after James Franco got out.
Yeah, I didn't see any of those.
Okay.
So,
got
he was the one who played Jerry West, who, again, was lost this week. So, thoughts and prayers to his family. And Dan, do you know he's part of the Clippers organization now?
Yeah, he's been with them forever.
I didn't know that until they made the announcement that they announced. The announcement was weird because it said the Clippers announced.
Yeah,
he
had like a falling. Yeah, he had a falling out with the Lakers, and then just moved over to the Clippers.
That's
location. Location.
I mean, I'm sure he played a part in getting the new building built in Los Angeles. That's supposed to be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't hurt. I'm sure his
say he didn't hurt in the vote. What was it? What's the comedian? What's the Italian comedian's name? Sebastian
Maniscalco.
Yeah, he's apparently like the second person to be performing there. So he recently was on a podcast talking about a tour that he got from the owner, and he was like, "This place is something he's never seen in his life." There isn't a part of the arena that doesn't show you the inside of the arena. Like when you're getting food, it's all open behind everything.
That's nice.
So it's like crazy. He said.
The sad thing is, no one goes to Clippers games. Like no one goes to Net games.
Apparently, they've sold out season tickets.
The Clippers?
Apparently they did well.
They are a good team. It's just
Speaking of, have you guys checked out the show Clipped at all?
No.
I haven't had a chance.
So
My friend said it's not right.
it's meh. It's not like it's like weird. They should have got someone a little bit more bulky to play Blake Griffin. He looks like a stick.
Yeah, Chris Paul was like
Chris Paul
my
was
wife
bashing it.
Yeah, Chris Paul was like, my wife never went out with Donald Sterling's wife ever.
Yeah.
Such a rat.
They said it's a very weird, like, the players
Chris
are saying
Paul,
he's such
a, I don't know. I don't like Chris Paul, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but he had nothing to do with the video.
He didn't.
Yeah. So he's able to.
But he was the captain of that team, so that's why the show kind of focuses on him.
And Lawrence Fishburne.
I wonder why they didn't win anything.
Did you see what he said, Danny? Did you see what he said?
Lawrence Fishburne as Doc is a good casting.
But did you see what he said? He said, I had no idea who Doc Rivers was until I got the part.
Well, that's weird.
He goes, I'm not a sports person, so I had no idea who this guy was. And I'm thinking, why would you take a sports movie then? Why would you take a show about sports?
Austin Rivers is like, we could have gotten someone more fit for his dad.
I feel like, I mean, I guess it depends on who you are. But a lot of people, like, I think they said Pacino, like, knows nothing about football before he, like, knew nothing about football before he did Any Given Sunday. He was just like, yeah.
Yeah, but then he also did then he was also Joe Pa. So he went from Any Given, not knowing football to.
I'm saying, I hope he knows it now with 2 movies, but yeah.
At least that we know of.
That we know of.
He's too busy worrying about a kid.
Isn't it like his 10th kid or something?
I don't know if it's that many kids, but
I know De Niro's up to that close to that number.
I thought it was De Niro when you said it.
Both of them and Mick Jagger.
They're like fighting each other about it. See who's gonna end up.
The 3 of them, and they're all 80. I think that's selfish to a degree.
That they're 80 and still having kids?
I agree.
It's like, oh, I get to spend 10 years with my dad, or any given moment, unfortunately.
Right.
Just not knowing him. Hey, I know the money's still going to be good, and I'm living.
The inheritance will be just fine to.
But just not knowing your dad and being Father's Day this weekend, it's just like, yeah, well.
Yeah. Like, who's raising these kids?
Well, the 26-year-old mom.
And whoever she ends up with after De Niro or whatever one it is. Pacino.
Well, Mick Jagger's still doing tours. They're apparently killing it. That's crazy
he
to
is
think
still.
about.
It's a shocker.
Robert De Niro has 7 biological children.
Okay.
All right. What's the youngest?
1.
Okay. Just now. 15 minutes ago.
Pacino only has 4 as of like 2 months ago.
Okay, so maybe it was only De Niro.
So it's probably like, what is he, 80? So like 50 and 2. 50, 40, 30.
80. Pacino's 84. De Niro's 80. Hey, good for them. So still kicking.
Hey, man.
So, where are we at? First off, happy Father's Day this week, Danny.
Thank you.
Yes, Danny, happy Father's Day. And to all the fathers out there.
Yes. All the fathers and the mothers that we missed on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you guys.
Isn't it weird? I have to go to a 4-year-old's birthday party on Sunday on Father's Day.
No,
that's called being a father. That's the whole point of Father's
Day thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's like, all right, these parents couldn't pick another like day.
Because you know what the mom is thinking? 2 celebrations, 1 place, 1 spot.
Yeah, I guess.
You'll be lucky if you get wished Happy Father's Day.
Well, I don't care. I'm gonna literally know 1 parent, but
okay, good.
It's just gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna have to like be a people person and not be an introvert, and make sure my son doesn't destroy the place. So, happy Father's Day. We're in these gym places and
Oh.
Lynbrook.
I was gonna say, is it like a bounce? My
I
nephew
don't know if
loves
it's
bounce.
exactly like a bounce, but I'm assuming it's similar.
Got it.
Similar to Ariel's party from a couple of years. It's just they run around and they flip
Oh, I
over
know.
mats
Flip
for
over
20
on
minutes and then
mats.
have cake. And then you go home.
Unfortunately, my son has what we call ADD and ADHD. So yes, we're gonna be running around.
Got it.
Ooh, pretty bird. Oh, okay.
Speaking of jumping and doing gymnastics, is he okay physically?
Yes, that's right. Last time he was on, yeah, he's fine.
Good. Okay. Great. Yeah,
I forgot about that.
I think we've had a show or two since then, but it's just
It's been a minute. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, they're good.
great.
Oh, so yeah. How about those Mets?
Yeah. I mean, how about them?
I was about to ask, what do you guys think about playing an NHL playoff game at 6:00 in the afternoon, twilight in Edmonton right now?
Well, the Warriors
love
did that. The Warriors used to do it.
I love it because I don't want to stay up till the game shouldn't start at 9:00 in the Stanley Cup final. I'm sorry. As an Olden who has to wake up early. You can't start a game at 9:00 in the morning.
Yeah. I mean, the Warriors,
I mean,
they did that for the Warriors, their whole dynasty run.
Right.
Yeah, it seemed like that whole run was 9:00 every.
Yeah,
NBA
they
final.
pushed it down a half hour in a couple of these games this year. I was shocked about.
Well, that series is over.
Well, yeah, that's disappointing.
It is.
Listen, they got Game 3 of the NHL Finals tonight. You're hoping that Edmonton shows up to this one. Like
What? Oh, so it's 2-0 Panthers.
It is 2-0 Panthers.
I have not seen a second.
Interesting fact about the Panthers I learned today. They're the only team in the NHL where their road jerseys say the state. You know how sometimes in like the NBA they have that, or in baseball they have it, where I'll say like the Mets have like the Mets at home and then New York on the road. Panthers have Panthers in their logo at home in Florida on the road.
Makes sense.
I didn't realize that.
Tonight's game 3, right?
Yeah.
Tonight is game
So
3.
home cooking tonight, as you would think.
Right. Edmonton's first Stanley Cup final, hosting Stanley Cup final game. Well, no, technically. Didn't they host the bubble?
I mean,
technically.
Not
as a team, but
not as a team, but I think it was there.
The Stars Lightning finals was there.
Right, was there. But no, it's the first Stanley Cup final game for the Oilers at home
2006.
Since
2006, where they lost to the Carolina Hurricanes in 7 games.
Yes.
The current Ranger coach, Peter Laviolette.
18 years.
And the captain of the Carolina Hurricanes team is the current coach of the Carolina Hurricanes team, Robert.
That is, wow, that's true.
Here's another fact. Edmonton's coach, Chuck Knobloch, is not related to the Yankee.
Well, hopefully he doesn't have yips too and hits Keith Overman's mom in the head.
Well, here's the here was like the
His
really
name is Chris Knobloch, by the way.
His he was the Rangers AHL coach before.
His name isn't Chuck, but he's not related either.
In November, they took him from the Rangers, the Wolfpack.
Yep, from the AHL.
I didn't know you could do that. You could just take a coach from another team's minor league system and just be like, "Hey,
as long as you hire him for a promotion, I get." I think the Rangers had to allow them to do that. They definitely had to allow them to do it. But he was Connor's
like junior coach or something.
I'm gonna say junior coach
because so he has a job for the rest of his life.
Correct. Now
whether it's behind the bench or somewhere else in that team.
They were a disaster.
Video coordinator in a couple of years.
They were a disaster when the season started. They were awful, and they hired him and turned it around. But
what position coach is he?
He's the head coach.
He's the head coach.
Oh, they fired their coach.
They fired their head coach, who is a pretty good coach and is probably going to get a job relatively soon. But it just...
he hasn't gotten... it's interesting. I think they're all filled. He hasn't gotten one.
Now that you're saying it, they might all be filled.
Get a year off like Vrabel and
Right.
He'll be that first call when a team's looking to hire somebody.
He's a solid coach, but
I still can't believe
he'll be the stars call in like November when they're sick of the ball.
Right. I still can't believe Vrabel did not get a coaching job this year. It's kind of crazy to me.
Who?
Mike Vrabel.
Oh, you said
very weird.
You know, a lot of people said he was a player coach, which understandable, of course. He understands where the players are coming from, played all those years, all that. I don't know. I feel like teams are looking for more of that. You know,
I mean, if you're a good
feeling
coach,
like that doesn't work, you know, in the long run.
I think the fact that he's a defensive coach has a little bit to do with it.
Yeah, you're right, man. But
listen.
Our next head coach will probably be defensively. The last like 7 have been offensively.
But you need an offensive. That's the whole point.
Well, yeah, and one neutral.
Special teams coach.
Yeah, right. I guess. Which John Harbaugh. So sometimes that works.
Yeah, and then he had a 15-minute press conference after an embarrassing loss, and we're like, "Dude, what are you doing? Why are you blowing up your job?" And then 2 weeks later, he does 2 QB sneaks.
Wasn't he like the first coach that the Mara family ever fired midseason?
Yes.
Was it? Well, it wasn't midseason.
Well, like towards the end of the season, like during season.
No, you're thinking of Shermer.
Okay, Shermer was the first one.
Was it?
No,
really?
Judge was literally going to get a job, and they're like, "All right, Gettleman's definitely getting fired. Judge, just don't say or do anything stupid." And then the job is basically yours. And he doubled and tripled down. And then the Giants were like, "Yeah, we're going to have to blow this up."
Judge did last the whole year.
Yes. Like 2 days. Because it was like in limbo. Are we keeping Judge? Are we not keeping Judge? And then it was like, yeah, we're getting rid of Judge.
Right. Shermer got fired because he benched Eli.
Because of the Eli stuff. I could have sworn
No, Shermer wasn't the coach for that. That's McAdoo.
McAdoo. He survived the whole season?
He didn't make it.
He didn't make it the whole season. It was basically that, and him and Reese got fired. And then Shermer then benched Eli, but it was like, all right, we did draft Daniel Jones number 6, so he has a safety blanket. And then they were like, yeah, let's fire the coach because our rookie quarterback actually had good numbers with him and was close to rookie records, but that's not important.
But what Steven and I were saying was correct. Shermer completed both his seasons.
Yes. 17 and 8. Oh no, 18 and 19.
Yes.
But he was terrible in
McAdoo
games.
17.
McAdoo was it was 16 and 17 for McAdoo.
Right. And they threw Spags in at the end of 17.
Correct.
Okay. So he was the first.
Right. I knew I thought it was. I get Judge and Judge. Yeah. And McAdoo.
If you're not a Giant fan, it's all clustered together because we sucked for that long. I'm actually excited for next Thursday's event. That should be fun.
What's the event?
They're doing their 100 season. It's not the town hall like they usually do. Now it's the 100th anniversary panel, and they're gonna have. I was listening to Art Stapleton's podcast today, and they had the marketing rep for the Giants on, and they're basically doing like errors. So like all the big Giant names are gonna be there from past and present. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited for that. I'm pretty sure there's still tickets, $25 to get in. So
where is it? The stadium?
It's actually at the Gardens Theater, so that's convenient for me.
Interesting.
Yeah. Parcells, LT, Sims, Eli, all the big names. Yeah, they must have paid really well for LT to be there. Tiki's supposed to be there. That's going to be interesting. How much grace did he get back since working with WFAN? Since I was always in the minority, I always like Tiki, so I know I'm in the minority. But it's going to be interesting to see like
wasn't it
him
the Tiki
being on
jersey that got the charcoal all over it?
Yeah, that's all time great story. Then
I told you I was ordering
Steve-
jerseys today. And I told my friend that story because he wanted a white jersey. I'm like, all right, but don't
Okay.
come yelling at me
yeah,
when there's
I
circle.
didn't think
You had a
think of it
white
like
tiki
that.
barber.
Listen,
jersey.
you were
I
what,
literally
a
bought
freshman
it
in
the
college?
day
I was
before.
no, I was in freshman in college. You were second year college.
Yeah,
So and it was the
first
first
or
time going,
second,
just
yeah.
two of us. What the hell do we know?
Yeah, I didn't think of it. It was a brand new jersey. I didn't take it off, and I got Steve's girl stain right on the jersey. It was good luck. Tiki almost had a MVP season, so but yeah, that's what the one thing I'm going to be interested to see. Like, what's the reaction with Tiki because him being on the fan for the last couple of years? It seems to be calmed down of the hate the last couple of years, so I'm interested to see that.
Has
It
he done
seems like
like?
there's more people beyond it now than it
Right,
was.
right.
Like you still
And
had your people that would boo him.
Steve, I was listening. Well, Snacks. It's interesting to. Well, I was listening to them the other day, and Tiki goes, "I've been retired for almost 20 years already." And I'm like, "What the hell?" Yeah, Tiki's basically been retired for like 17 years.
2005.
years. Yeah.
Well, 2006.
2006.
Oh yeah.
Has he done like any real team?
He's been back a couple of times.
No, yeah, he's a couple of Ring of Honor things, but
Okay.
but that's after being on the fan and him being in the New York
one of the
light again.
Are they doing his
final
number?
year he was there?
Yeah, and then they
I
did
got
the
a
Ring of
picture with
Honor
him.
stuff. Yeah, then
No,
the
the
Ring
final
of
year
Honor
at the
stuff.
old stadium before the Ring of Honor.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He's been around.
Are they doing his number ever?
No.
Danny?
But he as he's noticed, and a lot of people noticed, his number has never been to a offensive player. So in that
It's
regard,
mainly been the safeties number.
Yeah, it's been DB
Interesting.
number.
That is very interesting.
If Tiki played, what sucks with Tiki is if he played another year or two, he would have been a Hall of Famer.
Well, he's not.
Yeah. He might sneak in because it's like him and Marshall Falk and like one other guy to have stats that Tiki has. So.
And he did the whole beyond, not just, not just running back thing.
Mhm.
He did it all.
Sure. Right. Hence the
2009.
Marshall Falk.
He was there.
Yeah.
All right.
Nah, he's an all-time Giant.
Sure.
Like you could easily argue that he's the greatest offensive player in Giants history.
Yeah, you probably could. They don't have a lot of standout.
It's always been a defensive
weapon.
Defensive and running. So,
well, you said. Yeah.
Running
like,
up the gut.
Who's the best receiver in Giants history?
Mark Bavaro.
That's tight end.
I know, but if you're going to go by the stats,
he's the best. That's not great.
Well, if you go by that, it's Amani.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say.
If he doesn't shoot himself in the leg, the greatest offensive player of all time would have been
2007 Flexible.
Well, if I'll say this,
you may even have a number retired if he doesn't shoot himself in the fucking leg.
Is 2007 NFC Championship game Plaxico Burress.
Akeem Nicks stays healthy.
If Akeem or Victor Cruz stay healthy, God knows what happens.
Or they don't trade Odell.
Or they don't. Well, obviously that's the given answer. If they didn't trade Odell, that would have been he would have broke the record.
I mean, it turns out trading Odell was the right thing to do.
Right thing to do, yeah, obviously. But like talent wise, it's Odell. Obviously, it's not even a question.
I saw a clip today of the neighbors catching the one-handed catches in practice, and it was subbed with the it was a double screen. And the bottom one was the Ratatouille scene where the guy eats the thing at the end and then goes back to his childhood. So him as the regular guy is him watching Neighbors, and then him as a kid eating the meal again is Odell doing the same things during warm-up.
I will tell you this, and it's ironically Odell's last game as a Giant was the game I had field passes. And watching his pregame, it's just like watching like a dance routine of like just like how choreographed everything was in a good way. And it's just like how like it's just insane like how athletic he really was. And that was a game he threw a touchdown. Yes, it was a game he threw a touchdown.
I'm looking at his stats, and I think this kind of encapsulates what you're saying. About the Giants not having great skill position. He had 3 good seasons.
Odell.
Yeah.
We're talking about him like he would have been a Hall of Famer. He had 3 good seasons, and then he never stayed healthy ever again in his life.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
crazy to think that. I think obviously longevity. You have to give it to Toomer. If Plexco didn't fucking shoot himself, like,
I mean, it's always
we would have contended for that second Super Bowl.
Right. We were contending to go back to back.
That was Eli's best season by far, other than 2011. Wasn't even close.
That Super Bowl that year.
That was the Steelers beating the Cardinals.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Larry Fitzgerald should have had one, but Antonio Holmes made one of the greatest catches of all time.
That NFC Championship game would have been legit, but yeah.
Right, because didn't the Eagles get blown out in that game?
I don't remember all that.
But it would have been. But the Cardinals would have had to come to New York. So.
No, we had home field.
They lost 32-25 in the NFC Championship game.
But I feel like it was over early. Like the Cardinals came out flying.
So like every other Packer NFC Championship game against the Niners and the Falcons.
Shockingly,
that Falcon one was crazy. That one was like we didn't even.
That was the famous me sitting there recording Vin's reactions to everything and having to shut it off after one play. Be like, oh, well, we're done.
We didn't even get comfortable.
No, we didn't get anywhere.
Listen, I'll tell you this: it was a lot easier sitting with Vin for that over the Seattle one.
Well, that one was epic proportion meltdown.
That Seattle one.
I don't blame him.
And then watching and staying there just to make sure he doesn't off himself after the Seattle one to watch the AFC Championship game in pure silence. To the point where he just started playing video games and you just sat there. You're just like, all right, then you do what you want to do, buddy.
You and Matt were sliding memes to each other on the ground. Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. You weren't wrong about this NFC Championship game. The Cardinals were up 24-6 at half, and then the Eagles came back and took the lead. And the Cardinals scored to take the lead with 2:53 left in the game.
Imagine if Andy Reid never won the Super Bowls with the Chiefs. Like he would be like an all-time loser.
Yeah.
Or how about this? Imagine he won one of those with the Eagles.
Basically, what Shanahan is.
He would have been, yeah.
Do you think he ever leaves Philly if he wins even one of those? Let's say he just wins one.
No.
Yeah.
At that time, it was time for him to leave.
I think they run him out of town eventually anyway.
Yeah, well,
it's Philly.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the Northeast.
Well,
it is. Yeah.
Speaking of Philly and quarterbacks, and their quarterback got paid this offseason. Today we got a paycheck to a quarterback, huh?
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is now the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Good luck.
Yeah. Well,
55.
That's what happens. And now Dak's
next. They're saying 60.
Dak and CeeDee Lamb are just like, oh yeah, baby, because CeeDee has everybody else. He had Jefferson.
Okay,
and
what
Lamar,
about Cincinnati? They haven't
that's
paid.
What I'm saying.
CeeDee Lamb may be getting paid, but who you paying? Who gets the bigger bag? Who deserves the bigger bag? Jamar or CeeDee Lamb?
Well, if you're going by last year's stuff, it's CeeDee.
Yeah, I guess.
But Jamar is the more fluid.
Can we stop paying quarterbacks at the moment, please? Just
guess what, man?
Just
You're
for the
next.
rest of the off season.
Money, money, money.
Ben, didn't we
Money.
end
Thank
your
God you guys
season
are
by you
cheap
saying how
anyway.
you can't wait to pay this guy more money and let him be your quarterback?
I know. I just don't want it to be too crazy.
Oh, it is, buddy.
I know it's gonna be nuts. They'll figure it out one of these.
But you know what the funny thing, the weird thing is Jordan Love doesn't come off as the guy who's going to look to make
Steve.
bank. I know.
I know.
But like
Steve is right.
This I just saw on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that. I was gonna mention it. I'm not doing it.
Clearly, we got a steal at $40 million for the year.
Yeah, well, he has to stay healthy for that.
It's not great.
Not great, Bob.
Neither of them were that great, you know. Grant, in fairness, I mean, which was worse? I mean, no, Schwarber was definitely better than what's his name in Jacksonville.
Yes, he was definitely better. You have to
You
take
can't be
Trevor
worse.
Lawrence's he had a negative year. Like he went his first year is a -1 year.
And he got
And then
banged
he
up.
had a rookie year again. And then
They
he
should
had
have gave him Rookie of the Year the second year just
Correct,
because
yes.
they felt bad for the
This
first
one doesn't
year.
count. But last year,
Yeah.
last year he should have been.
Yeah, he
playing.
had a rough year
He was
last
beat to
year.
shit.
Yeah, last year was a rough one.
I still have faith in Trevor Lawrence. Personally,
I do too.
Didn't they? Who's there? I know.
Well, Ingram had 100 catches last year.
Who else? Who's their receivers though?
they have a guy.
What's
got
his
rid
name?
of-
What's his name? Walked. They let what's his name walk? Ridley.
walked.
Now he walked.
Gabe Davis is the one that they signed this year.
Oh, buddy.
That's not
buddy.
That's-
Mr.
Gabe
All
Davis, and they also got Christian Kirk a couple of years ago. That was the guy they
Right.
signed.
That
a
was
couple
the
years ago.
stupid one.
Yeah, but it turned out.
And
to
then
be good.
Brian Thomas out of LSU. I think his rookie.
That's
Oh,
right.
they
First
just
round
drafted
pick,
him.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so he has weapons, but also here's
Yeah.
the year where
And then Ingram had over 100 catches. So
right, and Etienne's first year as the lead guy there. So see how he goes.
Travis
Speaking
Etienne.
of Ingram, Darren Waller.
Yeah,
retired.
well, mental health month. We knew it was
Okay.
coming.
All of
Now that
them.
was coming, right?
Yeah.
Well, she
did you see
divorced
those
him,
rap-
and he decided he didn't want to play football anymore.
All right.
Well, not
But
only
this
that.
is why you
though,
drafted the guy.
the panic attack story was crazy. In his 17-minute retirement video, he basically was the week where the Giants went to play the Raiders in Vegas, and he apparently had a crazy panic attack, and the cops and the fire department, EMTs, had to bust down his door. So,
Damn.
Oh,
he was
that's
like,
where
"Yeah,
his-
football's not for me anymore."
What was the Jet game? Was the following week or 2 weeks later?
Probably for the best.
No, it was before, because that was the game he got hurt in.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because right. You're right. No, because
Yeah, that's what
DJ got hurt in the Raider game. DJ tore his ACL in the Raider game.
But he had the neck injury, and then they rushed him back. Remember, because we had Tommy DeVito in the game in a monsoon, and we're
At the
like,
Jet
"Oh
game.
fuck, we don't trust him to throw an NFL pass yet."
I think he threw two.
Technically, one went backwards, so it didn't count.
And then Saquon, just for whatever reason, no clutch gene to end games last year. Just whoop. But yeah. No, yeah, that was the game. That was his last game before he came back. And then they rushed Jones back the following week against the Raiders, and then that's what happened.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Because
'Cause I
Waller
remember
was leading the league in receiving
Yeah, for tight ends, yeah.
at one point.
We'll always have that Bills game too.
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor, not once but twice.
See, that's the other thing that's
That-
bothering
that-
me with
that-
the camp.
That easily could have changed the whole entire season.
The Bills game.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Well, the Bills and Jet game.
Yeah. But
Would have had
that's the
8
thing that's
wins.
bothering me about camp. Everyone's like, "Oh, Neighbors catches." It's Drew Lock throwing him the ball. Let's see him make catches like that on the balls Daniel Jones throws.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully with Wandell and Hyatt actually gets more than a couple more playing time, and then you have Slayton. Hopefully Daniel
I think
has time
Slayton
back.
becomes the odd man out at camp if you're gonna.
Yeah,
Cause,
him getting banged up really came at the worst time
and like
for him.
if you're gonna look to shed players at camp,
I don't think
he's the one.
I don't think we're getting rid of Slayton. I think this is his last year with us, but I don't think we're getting rid of Slayton. Because our luck, someone will get hurt, and they're like, "Fuck, we had Darius Slayton."
He'll be the one that gets hurt.
Now it's Isaiah Hodgins and McKenzie and the guy that we got from West Virginia on the practice squad. So Slayton's not going anywhere.
I'll tell you this: at the Dexter Lawrence softball event, I was not a fan of watching Wandale Robinson diving out of the way of dodgeballs and jumping up in the air to avoid getting hit, coming down on his ACL, knowing what happened 2 years ago. I was like, guy. But you also knew at one point where he was going to be the athlete of the day when he brought out the bright orange cleats, softball cleats. Him and Banks. Those were the guys. Almost pulled the trigger on the Banks jersey today.
Okay. Not bad.
That was the other option. I definitely wanted Burns. And my thought process on the Lawrence Century was I have a Lawrence in blue. So if I really don't like the Century when I get it for $20.
Right.
Oh, well.
It's only been a few days of minicamp, but how are things looking besides catches from?
That's about it. Daniel is only doing side work, but he's apparently going to be ready.
Is he there? He's there.
He's
everybody's there.
And
There's nobody holding out a Giant camp.
They have
it
nobody.
Seems like it's a good kumbaya situation at Giant camp.
Nobody excused or unexcused or all that nonsense.
Well,
no.
Okay, just checking.
And then the only thing is the worry is Evan Neal. Evan Neal's ankle still is a issue.
Darn.
He didn't practice. No,
darn.
We need him to be good. We need him to be good. We wasted a top 5 pick on him. Top 7 pick on him.
Calais Campbell still played?
Yeah.
Calais Campbell is still trying.
He signed with the Dolphins.
He just signed with the Dolphins.
Oh, right. Okay, good.
They have the vet men, man.
He's
another one. He's another one that's due for money too.
Tua.
Oh yeah, he's definitely. Well,
Tua's due. Apparently, there's a clause in Tyreek's contract that he has to be a top 5 paid receiver, so they're gonna have to re-up him soon.
That's
some detail in that contract.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Well, like the Giants not looking into the Daniel Jones injury clause.
I mean, the Giants just, in general, really. No offense.
Listen, not all of us can draft a quarterback every 30 years and hope they span out for the next 20.
Listen, some of us
and only win 2 Super Bowls in 20 years.
How many of the Giants have won the same amount?
Are we concerned in Jetland? Is the Jetland concerned of?
No, they're the Jets. They're used to all this non-needed.
I just find it hilarious that of all the places for that guy to come back from an ACL injury, it's like literally the place he plays the worst. It's San Francisco.
I mean, he's had a couple good games in San Francisco. I'll give him that. They weren't always his fault when they lost those games. They won.
I bet you he stands in that spot where Clay stood and just stares.
He won that game. He didn't play bad, and then they won.
That was that Candlestick, right? Wasn't that before? I think that
was. It was. Yeah. And then at the new one, he won a crazy game. They had a comeback. Well, it wasn't really a comeback. They were ahead, and then the Niners took the lead, and then he had a crazy last-second drive, which wasn't really a drive. It was just throwing the ball at Devontae twice. That's kind of how things were going at the time. It was just he was just open twice. He just hit him twice.
I mean, most of his Packer career was chuck the ball downfield to Jordy, and then chuck the ball up in the air to Devontae.
Oh yeah, it was the drive was pass to Devontae, Mason Crosby makes a kick. It's like we've run this play 14,000 times. It just keeps working. But yeah,
And then they told Rodgers to go fuck himself and got rid of Devontae.
well, we don't know about that.
Nobody knows the truth.
Devontae
This is part of the ownership meetings you're supposed to have, Vince. You're supposed to call these guys to the table and be like, "What are we doing here, boys?"
As far as I know, they offered him the same amount of money as the Raiders did.
Well, it really worked out him wanting to play with his buddy.
Listen,
Darren.
yeah, great decision, brother.
I forgot to send it to you guys. They had Gardner Minshew doing like photo day, and I guess a Raiders like fan did piped in the HBK theme song to him doing the mustache celebration he does.
I think the Jets are in a little bit of trouble because he's going to do whatever the hell he wants.
Yes.
It didn't look good when he did go to the camp, the voluntary camp a couple weeks ago, and then he's on the side taking his shoe off after being on the field and massaging his ACL.
Right.
It's not a good look, but like it's also part of the process. He's like it's the first time he's really doing drills.
But you can't
You can't do that with the media there. If
But
you're doing that when the media is not there, it's one thing.
Forget that. You can't leave last season and go, we have to stop all the nonsense, and then have the offseason he's had.
And he's the guy doing all of it.
You're the nonsense. And then here's the thing. I don't know where he is at the current moment.
Mentally?
He's at an RFK
physically.
rally.
Is he
sarcastically saying. No, I don't know.
Oh, I saw a TikTok randomly from somebody who was like, once it comes out where he is, people are going to go nuts. It's a stupid TikTok. What also happened today was the Pat McAfee show, which, is always interesting. AJ knows where he is.
Of course he does.
Right. Correct.
He probably has his location on just in case, you know? Hey, I'm going on an Asawaka trip. Whatever the minute is, here's my location. Make sure you follow me.
They were trying to,
convince him.
They were doing a bit, obviously, or whatever. So Pat was just like, people know that you know that where he is. So whatever your answers are to the questions that I'm asking are going to be leading because people know you know, but I don't know. It's whatever. I've said this before. I'll say it again. He needs somebody in his life to just call him on his bullshit. And I thought AJ was that person. I guess he's not. I guess you just ride people's coattails, and that's just because this is just nonsense. Or he just doesn't care, and people might call him on his bullshit, and he doesn't care. That's possible.
He's probably seems like a guy who just doesn't care.
Well, it's like
you
can't stop your whatever going on podcast nonsense for a year and then retire and do whatever the hell you want.
Well, then again, he's getting paid a lot of money to be on McAfee.
Oh, I'm not even talking about McAfee. He went on with fucking what's his name?
Rogan a couple of times.
Oh, no, Carlson.
Carlson was the one I was talking about.
Carlson was recently, yeah.
You can't sit here and not understand the political meaning of going on a Tucker Carlson show. Like Rogan is at least ambiguous, and Pat is Pat, and it's whatever. But you're making a statement by going on that, and it's not saying it's a bad statement, but it's a statement and it's a distraction, regardless of what your stance is on anything.
Well, did you guys see who's on the next release of the Logan Paul podcast?
No,
I saw the video. I'm assuming Trump.
Donald Trump.
Wow,
he sat down.
Well, they had the stare off with the USA title belt.
Right, they had the USA title belt. He had customized Prime bottles there for Trump, also, of course. But I just saw pictures, so I haven't heard the actual.
Steve's a little autistic for Prime.
A
little tizzy for Prime. Prime is pretty good, though.
I don't like Prime.
I never had the energy drinks, but
neither have I. I don't really drink energy drinks, but
the Mets are losing.
I just need to have when I need it. I'll have it. But
I
it's
just
very
don't
rare.
like any of the flavors except for one, so I don't know why people like this drink so much.
I have a couple of them that I like that I can deal with.
I like the popsicle one. That's the only one I've ever had.
Nice.
The bomb pop one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only good one.
So, with that, the Jets are crazy. The Mets are trash.
The Yankees are really, really good.
The Yankees are really good for the first half of the season. We'll see how this goes.
They'll be fine. Unless someone's arm falls off.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to a coworker the other day. He goes, Soto's a real deal. Except that defense. I'm like, listen, 4 out of 5 these days for a tool player is pretty good.
Defense.
Yeah, I mean,
when he hits 50 home runs and almost 200 RBIs, are you really going to care if he drops a couple pop-ups in the outfield?
No.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have like a decent arm too?
Oh, he has a gun.
I think he has a decent arm. He's not like rated as a good defensive player, like if you go by the fancy ratings and things. But I don't care.
Right. He's hitting the ball 5,000 feet away.
Yeah, you overlook freaking everything he does.
It's like, this is a larger thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately because I have nothing else to think about in my life. Does baseball defense matter that much?
I mean, apparently, because Sterling Martin is trash.
Because, like, okay, here's
certain positions,
right? And I guess this is
because the positions that you need to be good at defense it is actually really glaring. I would say, obviously, up the middle is the cream of the crop. And then first, it's like, okay, yeah, that'd be good to have a good first baseman. But we've been okay with Pete being adequate.
Key is who's going to be our first baseman next year.
Brett Beatty.
Why is Brian Clifford not wearing a first base glove?
That's not a bad idea, Brett Beatty. The whole reason
he's playing second base for the first time in his career today. Leave him alone. Let him get to one position.
Okay, just move him over one position. The whole reason I'm saying this is because I was thinking about Francisco Lindor lately, and it's just
he's a very overrated defensive player.
But he's not, though.
I see him drop a lot of basic baseballs.
I get like
okay. I just feel like he gets the ball in his hand and it just falls a lot every time I see it.
Okay.
Or he makes a rush throw when he doesn't have to, like Daniel Vogelbach running down first baseline. He's rushing the throw. Like, slow it down, buddy.
The thing that drives me nuts with Lindor is when he isn't going, and we just need him to get a simple base hit, he will decide to go hit for the fence. You're like, no, Frankie, just freaking.
Listen, he's gotten better at that now that he's the leadoff hitter. Now that he's a leadoff hitter, and
and
listen, that wasn't he the leadoff hitter in Cleveland?
He was. It was top 1 or 2. Yeah. So since he got to New York, we could eliminate anything he did in Cleveland. According to outs above average, which is just a stat on Fangraphs, he is the second best defensive player in the league. The only player better than him is Brian Hayes of the Pirates. But offensively, and that also puts him, if we're going by WAR, as the 9th best player in the league. But offensively, he's just like slightly above average. And it's like, how much do I really care about his defense? And I don't know what the answer is. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Well, listen, that's what we traded for. A defensive player who gets on base, who we think can hit 30 home runs. But we really got it. What?
He does hit. He said 30 home runs. Well, at least last year he did.
Okay. But now we need the Lindor that gets on base. I think, and we talked about this in our chat today, right? The lineup mixing up and all that. Lindor's been on fire since batting number. Well, I wouldn't say fire, but he's been a lot better.
He's been very good since he's hitting
leadoff.
There's a pulse.
And I think that, like, if he could just focus on getting on base now, especially if Nimmo's going to bat second, there's nobody more patient in baseball than Nimmo. So
I didn't realize he was batting that low in average, which is kind of crazy.
Nimmo, yeah,
they talked about it on the other day. They asked Keith about it, about batting in a different spot in the lineup and how it could affect your mind and things. And they brought up Nimmo as the point and said he's kind of like in that way, like he's not a known number 3 hitter. So what's this team doing by making him a number 3 hitter and he keeps striking out all the time anyway? So what's the point? It kind of defeats the purpose.
I don't know why they did.
But him as a 2 hitter, it brings up that if Lindor can get on basic base hit, now you have a patient. Lindor's also can steal bases.
Like this season, hitting first, he had a 216 average with a 363 on base percentage. Yes, this is Nimmo. Now 363 on base is good, regardless of what your average is. That's good on base percentage. But that's not. He was not playing well enough to be upgraded in the lineup. So I don't know what the point of that was. Maybe this hitting second will work. I don't know. Maybe there's just something off with this roster, and we've been saying this for a couple of years now.
We missed Daniel Vogelback.
Something's not there, and I don't know if it's the answer is getting rid of Pete, but you can't just keep running the same shit back.
Yes,
Danny, I know you and I talked about like that would be the final straw.
Well, that was in February, and we were.
I know. I'm getting more and more comfortable with just. We got to move on.
I know it's looking like that, buddy.
The worst part about it is he's here for the season. We're not getting a return for. We're not.
No,
they're playing that they're less than 5 games out of a wild card spot. We need Pete in the lineup.
They weren't that far out of a wild card spot when they made the trades last year, though.
Yeah, but we also didn't have Stearns here, who's trying to make it look like he's going to try and sign this guy because the fans want him to.
They could still sign him if they trade him.
Well, yeah, no, I know that, but like
you don't sign or Dave Gettleman, you don't sign him to trade him.
I mean, he did trade Odell after signing him.
Yeah, let's not listen to anything Dave Gettleman says. No offense.
Nobody's heard from him since the Giants fired him, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah,
no one's
he's in Nantucket living his life.
Good for him.
Him and his dog with his pants around his nipples. In that one little room, like on that draft day.
Yeah. Everybody has computer boards, and he just has this giant ass binder.
He just has a dog.
Belichick.
Speaking of dogs and draft day, what's Belichick doing?
Just going to any Tom Brady event.
He was pretty good on the draft, I thought.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll just.
Doesn't he have a deal with somebody to do something?
I mean, isn't
it with Manningcast? Someone.
Or was it with McAfee? I think it's McAfee.
Well, he did the draft with McAfee.
Right, so I think he might have.
Here we go, boys. Pete, nobody out. 2nd and 3rd, down 2. Here comes the perfect strikeout situation for him.
I need to rant about something right now, and it's the fact that I have cable and I'm always slower than everybody else. JD Martinez is just good. I also just
what kind of cable do you have?
I have Optimum.
Well, that's your problem.
I guess that's what it is. I gotta get Verizon. Anyway, JD Martinez is good. I can't wait for the prospects we're gonna get for JD Martinez.
JD Davis. We're gonna get JD Davis for JD Martinez.
What is JD Davis doing right now?
Yeah, what team is he even on?
He's on Oakland. He's still in Oakland.
He got signed by Oakland.
He got signed by Oakland on a 1-year deal, so he's tradable basically in the middle of the year. But he's got to be doing well enough to be.
He's finally getting playing time, huh?
That's another good outing by Sevy. I'll tell you that much.
Negative 0.3 WAR according to Baseball Reference, hitting 227 with 4 home runs and 5 RBIs. That's hard to do.
Killing it.
You're crushing it for those Oakland A's, buddy.
Yeah, he's not. He's playing first base and third base.
Hey, there you go. We just replaced Pete next season. JD Davis.
Oh, not again.
He has 4 home runs, but has grounded into 3 double plays. It's just not. He's just not really doing his thing.
And by the way,
not really good.
the backup first baseman's playing third base right now, named Mark Vientos, because he played first base a bunch of times last year too. So he can go play first.
Baseman,
Mauricio could play third. Beatty plays second.
I think we're putting too much on Mauricio. I mean, he was fine last year. We're talking about him like he's his second coming. I mean, I don't.
Anybody that's not named Jeff McNeil at this point in my life to play second base is fine. I'm so sick of Jeff McNeil.
I don't disagree. Like I'm done with Jeff McNeil. I'm not ready to hand the keys to Ronnie Mauricio yet.
Who's batting
coming
fifth
off
today?
the ACL too?
Oh, Marte. Okay, because it looks like they're pitching around. Instead of just putting him on first base, they're gonna throw 4 pitches to this guy.
I know he's not doing his normal thing. He's still a threat, though. That's what you're saying. If they trade him, they will get something.
Who?
Well,
Pete?
Pete.
But it's not going to be enough.
Vin, rules question for you.
Hit me.
If they intentionally walk a guy, does it count as one of the 3 batters that they faced?
Yes.
Okay.
You could intentionally walk the bases loaded if you really wanted to, and then change the guy. So
he just threw 5 pitches to beat the.
I mean, he just didn't want to. You could have you put up 4.
I mean, I'd go after Marte too.
Marte's been good.
Listen, he gets a hold of one like he did yesterday, and a whole new story of this game. We got Edwin Diaz back because again.
The last month, I think they said.
Career bases loaded, 344. 2 grand slams. He's no Robin Ventura.
No Robin Ventura.
What's Robin Ventura doing these days? Does he have a job?
He does not. He did not do well in Chicago, so he does not.
He really
have a job.
didn't. He actually really didn't. Maybe he seems like he would be a good college coach.
471 in his last 9 games, but this guy can't find the plate, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Well,
don't swing.
Thoughts, Danny, on the coaching move for the Knicks today?
Mo Cheeks. I mean, it's a good assistant coaching job. So, Mo Cheeks.
It's a funny name.
No,
it's a funny name. I can't.
Does he know how to use his bench? Like, can he teach Thibodeau to not wear these guys out?
I mean, yeah, but
no, he can't.
I think that's a shitty. Yeah, I mean,
nobody can.
All the injuries were.
He's been doing it for how many years?
Luis Angel Acuna today went 4 for 5, a double, and 3 RBIs with 2 runs scored.
Danny, where is Derrick Rose at the moment?
China.
Really? No, he was on. He was in Memphis. He was on Memphis this year. I think he's retiring.
Oh, damn it!
No.
What a double play! What a great job, Marte.
Did he really swing 3-0 and ground to the double play?
Nope, 3-1 he swung.
Okay.
Make you feel a little bit better about it.
Oh, we got a run though. We got a run.
Yeah, they got a run. They scored a run.
All right.
There was nobody out, so they were definitely getting a run.
I mean, you could throw it home for a double play. That's also counts as a double play.
He didn't even step on first base.
Starling Marte is the slowest fast guy in the history of baseball. He grounds into so many fucking double plays.
He's fast when he wants to be fast.
He really is.
He picks
Maybe
his
that's
spots.
why his leg exploded that year.
Probably.
Probably why he
just decided to be fast the whole time. And then
well, the steroids were right to his leg that one year. Could have been it.
That's an interesting one. That people don't. I mean, not that people really talk about Starling Marte in general, but yeah, PEDs.
He's not going to the Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter if he did PEDs or not. He's not a Hall of Fame baseball player.
Was that? I'm assuming 2017. He only played 77 games, so I'm going to point to that one and say
sounds
that
all right.
Steroids. Very interesting.
Has been suspended 80 games on April 18th, 2017.
Yep. How's that?
So 80 games there, and because of that, it made Andrew McCutchen move back to center field.
All right.
Who, by the way, is still playing Wasn't this guy supposed to retire like 6 years ago?
Absolutely not. He's like a awesome fourth outfielder dude. Also, now that he's back in Pittsburgh, it's like he can kind of just do whatever he wants.
He's there. He's basically like the Votto of Pittsburgh baseball. He could just be there.
He could. I mean, he's not doing great right now, but he's an above average hitter according to statistics.
They said he was like the first player to be in like multiple first overall picks, first major league game,
He
something like that.
was
He was with Garrett Cole
He was the leadoff hitter.
in both games.
I think he was the leadoff hitter in Strasburg's debut, and then
And Garrett Cole. He also played. He was also in Garrett Cole's first game.
That might be right.
Because he was a Pirate when Garrett Cole was there.
He was. I don't think Garrett Cole was Garrett Cole a first round pick though?
He was the first overall pick.
Yeah.
Pirates. They have the first overall pick every 7 years.
He was the first overall pick. He got drafted by the Yankees 3 years before in the first round.
Garrett Cole?
Yes, and didn't go.
In the first round?
Yeah,
He
he
got
went to
drafted
college.
first round 28th at a high school, and then went to college. Went to Cal.
I mean, he bet on himself and went to school.
He
for
went
a
to
couple
hang
years.
with Aaron Rodgers at Cal.
He should be coming back any day now. Cole's been pitching in the minors.
Yeah, and Dominguez just technically came back. He's off the DL, IL, whatever.
They've been getting good pitching in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Here comes the strikeout.
It's going to be interesting with Heel though because of his pitching.
His
count.
innings and the count and what do you want to do with him and
It's going to be interesting.
Well, that's the thing.
how do you justify sending him down for Garrett Cole to come back? Like
That's what I'm saying. Do you do an arm saving kind of thing?
Might have to. His highest number was like 90 innings total.
Yeah, I mean it's not.
it's
hard to
the shortstop.
it's hard to push that many.
Listen, that's what the Mets apparently are doing with Christian Scott. Also, apparently they sent him down. He pitched 3 innings the other day.
Right.
And the plan is to keep it that way. My assumption would be keep it that way down there. Basically on a bullpen schedule type of thing when he's pitching. And then come deadline, you can figure out what you want to do with him because then it becomes
I hope it's not. I don't know if it's not gonna be that long. I hope it's not that long.
well, who comes? Well, Severino stays, right? As of right now, if Senga was healthy, right?
Mhm.
Who's coming out?
Quintana.
Mahina.
Quintana's been pitching better than him.
Right, but that's why Katana stays in the rotation.
No, I mean Manaya's been pitching better than him.
They're both pretty trashy.
And they're both on the last year of their deals, so I don't really care about DFAing or doing anything to any of them.
I think Katana you could get something for, especially a lefty like him. Mahina turned into a bullpen. I think Mahina can go into the bullpen. That's the thing because
He did go into the bullpen for the Giants last year.
Yeah, he saved the game I went to.
Then again, we're also the bottom 2 guys in the rotation are McGill and Peterson. I still have no faith in either of them. I mean, they're just there. I mean, Peterson again pitched
well
4 good innings yesterday and then fell off the face of the earth.
And McGill did the same thing the day before.
The same thing. So I mean, if they're 4 or 5 guys, which is what I think they're going to be needed to be next year, then that's honestly I'm not. That's okay. But
listen, we're only like 3 years away till the Pirates are looking to trade this guy. So just got to build up that prospect pool, and then we could just trade for him.
I'm ready. They can have whatever they want.
Liv can throw at the first pitch at every game.
Let's wait like 5 years because he's going to have a surgery in there somewhere first.
Yeah, but that's when you go get him.
No, let him have the surgery first.
Right,
Then
let them pay for the surgery, but that's when
Right.
you get him while he's
Yeah.
rehabbing because it'll
Mhm.
cost less.
Right.
So, like I was telling you, Vin, I was thinking about going to Friday night's game, but he is pitching, and like now I don't want to.
No, I have no interest. Who's pitching for the Dodgers?
Waldron Friday, Marzer Saturday, and the kid from the White Sox on Sunday.
Okay. I don't know. Waldron sounds familiar, but I don't know who that is. Cease on Sunday. Okay. Yeah, Quintana, 5.29 ERA. He stinks. He's gone. Goodbye. Nobody wants that. He's not getting traded. You should fucking DFA him. I don't care.
Nobody wants that.
What is actually interesting is they were talking yesterday, and I don't know what they're going to do. It's kind of important. Well, it's sort of important. Diaz is going to be back like any day now.
He is. He's back today.
And
they brought him in today.
so who'd they send down?
The kid who pitched yesterday, Young.
That's fucking. Oh, Young or Nunez?
Diaz returns. Hold on.
Because Nunez pitched really well yesterday and has pitched really well. Young is the lefty kid who has also pitched pretty well.
They both pitched for. Danny Young was option to
good.
Syracuse.
Good. Okay.
Nunez was the one that pitched Wednesday
Correct.
for a couple innings. Okay.
Yes.
They were talking on the broadcast like it has to be one of them because they both have options.
Right.
The question is which one is going to be the one that stays. But
It's
Nunez
so
pitched like 2 or 3 innings yesterday, 2 and a couple outs yesterday, so it gives you that longevity.
Yes. It's stupid that because the bullpen has not been good, but they don't have a lot of guys that you can move around. Like you can't send Ottavino anywhere. You can't send Drew Smith anywhere.
Right.
You could DFA Drew Ottavino and never put him in a Met jersey again.
I really he started off good. I should have stuck to my guns and just said and been
we handed Reed Garrett a Cy Young Award in April.
We did.
Yeah, we sure did.
Reed Garrett was literally Rivera, the second coming of Rivera.
Yeah. And now, he pitched pretty good. Yes, he got outs yesterday. He's just. It always is I'm finicky with guys he added a pitch. I think he added the splitter that he's been getting everybody out with, and it's only a matter of time before they just stop swinging at it.
Right.
And the splitter's been a big pitch recently. Like a lot of the Japanese guys, obviously Senga's got it. The Cub dude has it. I think Yamamoto's got every pitch on the history of the planet.
He's about to win every award this year. So
it's only a matter of time before the league catches on to the splitter in general, and just I don't know. It seems like there's a splitter revolution, and now it's only a matter of time before it ends, in my opinion.
Well, it was at the point where everybody was throwing 100, 105, and the league caught up to it, and now it was a matter of all right, now how do we get by that?
I guess everybody's still throwing 105 though. Also, Sean Reed-Foley, I don't love. He's just pitching right now, and I'm just throwing that out there. Don't love him.
Did he get 3 outs? I don't even know what the hell just happened.
The inning's still going. What are you talking about?
How many outs do you see?
I see 2. Well, now there's 3.
Okay, so the inning did it. Okay,
they did it in the inning. Yeah, he got 3 outs. He only threw 8 pitches. It's pretty good.
But you know what that means? He's not available now tomorrow.
Well, they don't play tomorrow.
Yes,
they do play tomorrow. Sorry.
Tomorrow's Friday.
I keep thinking today's Wednesday. My head is.
Yeah, that's why we got to wrap it up.
In the clouds. Yeah, I think I'm having a bubble brain day today. I don't know if that's a phrase. I think I just made it up.
So are we disappointed in both finals right now?
Very disappointed.
Yes, very.
But
Florida's up
you
1-0.
You got to give the Celtics their due. When they win, it's their 80th win in the season.
But as soon as the Celtics won game, was it 1?
Yeah.
Refresh my memory.
They haven't lost the game yet.
No,
so.
game 2. Well, as soon as they won game 2, where they didn't shoot well and Tatum
played
the crap. And
that was the game you were like, all right.
Right. If you don't win that game,
I'm actually really pissed at myself for not doing a futures on Jalen winning MVP.
You think he's going to win the MVP?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
averaging like 20-something points.
Yeah, he played. I know he had.
Unless Holiday has a crazy game 4.
Yeah.
Unless they just give it to Tatum.
No, they're not gonna give him to Tatum.
They know. Come on.
I know it's gonna.
He's not that. He's not a big enough guy to just kind of.
Well, he is, but it's Brown. He
Jaylen
actually
Brown
got
is
his money's
averaging.
worth. Yeah.
Jaylen's averaging 24 points a game right now.
And everybody was making fun of that contract at the start of the year, rightfully so.
Oh, we literally talked about it right before the series of how stupid it was to pay him that kind of bag, and today we were having the conversation like, all right, he earned that bag. He definitely earned that bag.
And now the Panthers are up 1-0 in this game. There was a stat today that they are like 14-0-1 with the ref that's reffing today. That happens a lot in hockey for some reason. People just do. It's like remember what happened with the Islanders.
Every
it was
game.
like whatever
The
guy it
Islanders
was.
never-
It was like the Hurricanes are 5-0 with this guy, and the Islanders are 0-3. Like, okay, great. Well, that one's over. Refs are stupid. Anyway,
I feel like the ref stat is such an overrated thing. Like,
but it seems to come true every time. I don't know why. DJ
Who
Stewart,
knows?
he can get the fuck out of here too. I'm sick of him.
he's literally this year's Vogelback.
He's just Vogelback all over again. Like he's a 183 average and he doesn't swing. It's just say I can't. I'm not gonna do this.
Take a deep breath, Vincent. Take a deep breath.
Everybody have a good night. I can't.
Goose,
Oh, he finally swung and I'm done. I can't. I'm done.
Let's go, Mets.
He didn't even swing. He just watched it go right by him.
I'm behind. He swung at the pitch before and missed. And then again, didn't swing straight through.
So he doesn't get thrown out of the game, but the national guy who didn't even say anything to the umpire got thrown out of the game.
Umpires are trash.
Don't worry, the GOAT is up, Jeff McNeil.
All right, Jeff McNeil. All right.
With that being
Yeah.
said, everybody enjoy your Father's Day. Enjoy
happy
your 4th
Father's
of
Day,
July.
everybody. Especially Danny.
Yeah.
Enjoy the next
Thanks,
couple of
guys.
weeks, and we'll be back in July.
Enjoy that birthday party, Danny.
I will. Later, guys.
Put your high white socks on and your New Balances and enjoy it.
Yeah, right. Jorts.